Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and update 24.2, the Fortuna Profit Taker has finally arrived, but before we start, I'm apparently supposed to disclose that I'm getting stuff through the Day 1 access for free, so yes, I am getting stuff through the Day 1 access for free, and I have been getting stuff through the Day 1 access for free for about 3 years now. But anyway, the biggest thing that was released with this update is of course the big Orb Mother fight, something that we've been waiting for ever since Fortuna released. Now, the first thing you have to do to start unlocking this fight is to actually reach the final rank with the Solaris United, which is Old Mate. Once you reach the rank of Old Mate, you want to go to the back room behind Yudiko in Fortuna, where you would usually go to talk to a little quack, and you want to talk to Yudiko, which will start a series of 4 sets of bounties, where the first 3 bounties are preparing you to fight the Orb Mother, and the 4th bounty is the Orb Mother fight itself. The 3rd bounty, as you can see over here, will also reward you with a Gravimag, which is an item that you can attach to one Arcing weapon, which will then allow you to summon the Arcing weapon on foot, which is something you're gonna need for the Orb Mother fight. Now, they did actually put a tutorial for the Gravimag into the game for when you finish the 3rd bounty, you try to do the 4th one, you can't, you're not quite sure why, you start looking around, confused, you get frustrated, and you go back into your orbiter. Once you do that, Ordis will pop up with the inbox showing you that you have a new message, which is the Gravimag tutorial. It's actually pretty straightforward. You have a new heavy weapon slot in the vehicle section in your arsenal, you pick one of the Arcing weapons that you've already put a potato on, and you install the Gravimag. Though don't forget to put the actual arc gun launcher into your gear wheel, because you have to use it from the gear wheel to actually summon the arc gun on foot. Now, I haven't managed to kill the Orb Mother just yet, mainly because I was just fuffing around, I was trying to see what she can do, and I was solo, and it seems to be geared more towards groups because some of the mechanics, and also because every now and then the characters that talk to you through the fight actually address you as a group rather than an individual. And also, there's either a DPS check at the end where you have to do the final part in 5 minutes, or the entire fight is timed, because it did take me a very long time to get her to the final phase, only to fail because I just didn't have the right gear to take her down. Because the shield phase on this fight works completely differently to the shield phase on the Eidolon, so rather than using your operator's amplifier to damage the shield, you have to use a specific damage type. And the way this works is the Orb Mother will project the icon of that damage type on her forehead, kind of, and as long as that icon is there, she can only be damaged by that damage type, and she cycles through them as the shield phase goes on. So when you see a slash icon, you can only damage her with slash. When you see a heat icon, you can only damage her with heat. And you cannot use radiation even though it has heat. You can only damage her with radiation when you see a radiation icon. I didn't know this when I first fought her, even though the previous bounty teaches you how to do it. And it's because this fight is just a cluster truck of knockdowns, and the Orb Mother is huge. So when Biz was shouting, "Cycle your damage, Tenno," during the bounty, I thought I just had to use different damage types to damage her, but no, that's not how it works. You have to use the damage type that you see the icon of projected on the Orb Mother's forehead. And this also means that you and your party want to bring a wide variety of weapons with as many different damage types as possible, so you don't have to stand there like me and be like, well, I don't have that. Okay, it's changing. Okay, I don't have that. Okay, next. Okay, I don't have that either. Please switch over to corrosive. Thank you very much. So the ideal situation here would be to have a team where you have every kind of damage. So slash, puncture, impact, electricity, toxin, cold, heat, corrosive, blast, radiation, viral, magnetic, and gas. And I think you also want to have a high amount of each damage type, because I'm pretty sure that if you have a weapon that has a really high damage but only a tiny bit of that is cold, and she's weak to cold, you're only going to be doing that tiny bit of damage. So this is kind of like the first main phase. The second main phase starts once you take down the shields, and this is where you want to call down your arc gun and start shooting at the Orb Mother's legs. Now, you probably want to be a little bit smarter than me and not choose the Fluctus as your first arc gun, because the vast majority of shots that I can see do 0 damage to her. It also absolutely trashes my performance, so I had to bring the particles down all the way to 0, and my game was still chugging like crazy. But anyway, once you destroy all 4 of the Orb Mother's legs, you'll be able to damage the head, brain, maybe torso, I don't know, for a little bit, and overall you'll be able to do about 1/4 of her health worth of damage. This will start the first intermission phase, where you have to run around and kill some pylons that are connecting to the Orb Mother and are regenerating her shields. Once you destroy the pylons, the leg phase starts again, so you once again have to shoot at her legs, take them down, and once they're down, you can do damage to the head. This will lead to the next shield phase, where you once again have to damage her with the element that she's projecting the icon of on her forehead. This will lead to yet another leg phase, so you have to destroy the legs and then damage the body or the head of the Orb Mother. And this will lead to the second pylon phase, where this time around I had to destroy 6 pylons, which then started a 5-minute timer. Now I'm not entirely sure if she's supposed to regenerate her shields at this point, or if it was just because I took down the pylons too slowly. But from what I've seen, once you finish the second pylon phase, you have 5 minutes to take down her shields, destroy her legs and kill her, otherwise she becomes invulnerable and you fail. And this is unsurprisingly where I had failed, because I didn't have more than half the damage types that she can be weak to at any given time, and my Flactus also wasn't doing a great job at taking down the legs. So that's just a very quick overview of the Orb Mother. Now let's check out some of the other stuff that was released with this update. So we got ourselves a new frame, which is Baruch the Pacifist. His signature sword and shield weapon, the Cobra and Crane, which is focused very heavily on status, but it does have a little bit of crit chance as well. And this one has, first of all, a synergy with Baruch, so if you're using it on Baruch, the first strike will incapacitate the enemy you hit. And second of all, you can actually throw the shield in midair, so it works just like the Sigma and Octantis. And that is very cool. Also, the new Simulacrum looks marvelous, does it not? Next up, we have a new shotgun by the name of Exergis. This one requires mastery rank 8, does an insane amount of damage per shot, and it's slash, followed by radiation, followed by puncture, and followed by a little bit of impact. It doesn't have a lot of crit, it has 1 round in the magazine, 1.6 second reload, and can reach 100% status before multi-shot with 3 dual stat mods. Now, when I saw that 1 round in the mag with 1.6 second reload, I thought this was gonna be awful. But I have an odd feeling this might become my new favorite primary, because holy crap, this thing is awesome. Just listen to that. Oh, bloody hell, that's one hell of a boom right there, and it feels amazing to shoot. Pulling the trigger just feels awesome. And the best thing about this weapon is that you can just put on a reload mod and it doesn't matter, because the weapon does stupendous amounts of damage per shot, especially if you proc slash on the enemy. The third weapon we got is a secondary pistol by the name of Plinks, which I actually think suits the weapon really well. This one uses a semi-automatic trigger mechanism, and it does 46 damage per shot, 26 is puncture and 20 is heat, and it has a ludicrously high crit chance and crit multiplier. Now the Plinks uses a recharging magazine that has 10 rounds, and it starts recharging after 1 second and recharges super fast, so you essentially have infinite ammo with this. It's actually a really cool weapon, it's super accurate, but it's also extremely dinky. And the final weapon we got is a whip by the name of Galvacord. This one requires mastery rank 6, it does slash, electricity, puncture and a little bit of impact with somewhat low crit chance, below average crit multiplier but very high status chance. Now this update actually introduced a ton of new stuff, but the video is already getting pretty long for an overview, so let's just quickly go through some of the more interesting ones. So there are 3 new animals you can hunt in Orb Vallis and get fluffs from them. There's a new strain mod set for the Helminth Charger, which focuses on the Helminth Charger growing cysts and the cysts bursting into maggots, which could be pretty cool. Voxelaris, which are represented by Little Duck, have been given proper rank, so we have Operative, Agent, Hand, Instrument and Shadow, and Little Quack now has some new items in addition to the cosmetics she already had. She has new parts for operator amplifiers, she has arcanes for both operators and amplifiers, and she also has all the parts you need to build Baruch. They added few more mods for the K-Drive, we have new operator hairstyles, and they tweaked Nyx and Titania, but I think I will do a separate video on this. As well as a separate video for each one of the weapons, one for Baruch and probably one for the Orb Mother as well, of course. And one final thing I want to say is that they also tweaked a lot of the arcing weapons, since you can now use them on the ground. And I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna say right now, because yeah, this video is getting pretty long, so I thank you very much for watching as always, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
The song of sons and daughters.